Good evening. Excuse me again, right off the top. Welcome to my new YouTube show, Mental Mind Treatments. Tonight is my first night and the first time I have recorded live with the chat open. If you have an issue, problem, question, please click on my live presentation and give me your first name, and age. I may ask a qualifying question so I am clear what you need and can zero in. Then I will give you my mental mind treatment. I suggest you have your phone handy so you can record it, as it's often better to reinforce the treatment by re-listening. So I admit tonight is an experiment for me. First, I don't usually do this in the evening. As my Wednesday Norma talks, I record via Zoom and then upload it onto YouTube. And then a Sunday thought I send out live, usually between 9 and 10, but I don't have the chat line open. The reason I want to do something like this is because for many years I have trained in this special way of praying and discovered it beneficial for myself and my clients. You may ask, what is a mental mind treatment? It is a process using words to bring light into the mind so the mind can open up and let go that which is being held onto. In other words, change the structure of your thoughts. I see we have somebody already, so I'll be there in just a sec. Today, I mostly use it in my practice for releasing either an event or a belief of the Akashic records. I work with the client to do a self-forgiveness treatment prayer in order to release that from the records. Self-forgiveness was the only way I have found to permanently release it from the Akashic records. Now, this is where I'm not really sure quite how I get to this person, but we're going to find out, aren't we? I just want to see what this says here. Report, remove. We're going to repin the message, I think. Now, so Patricia, hi, you said, hi, Norma. Now, what I'd like you to do is to just report what it is that you want to have the spiritual mind treatment for. How it is, can I help you? And I am on a learning curve here, because how do you practice a live session when you don't have, without being live? So I believe you can just, when you've put hi Norma, you can do everything in. So I'm not sure that it says say something. Yes, I've said something. I'm not sure. Can you let me know? Can you hear me? Because this is our experimental. It says say something. Do I have to type? No, I should be able to say something. Oh, maybe I have to type it in, which is not what I was expecting. Let me say hi, Pat. Let's see. Whoops. Oh, wow. This is interesting. That's not quite what I wanted. I hope I haven't lost myself here. No, I haven't. Say something slow. What the slow mode is on, I'm not sure, but I know it said that. I'm saying this, I'm typing this in, but I'm hoping to hear, hello, can you hear me talk? This is what I really wanted to do, is to be able to talk, because that's my skill. And we'll see what happens with that. Oh, Patricia, because as long as I know what you're wanting, I'm fine, but I don't need to figure that out. I guess it's not quite how I was expecting. So, Patricia, what I wanted to know was, can you hear me talk? I more help with okay. My healing, my lung cancer. I've got it now, and I've got another one after that. Okay, so what we're going to do, Patricia, and I see Nicole's on too, and she can just wait because Patricia's first. And so I'm presuming you can hear me. So I just want to just tune in for a moment, and I'm just going to, what I sense here right away, I'll probably see, you won't be able to see my eyes, I don't think, but what I sense here is when I check into the lungs, it's like there's a lot of congestion. And I know you've mentioned that it's lung cancer, but there's a lot of congestion. And some of this is old, like you breathe years ago. I want to go 10 or 15 years ago. You breathed in something and it's like almost like a glue. And this has been growing slowly and surely over these years. So now I've got that. We will start with mental mind treatment prep. Knowing that there is one power, one essence in the universe, that is the universal love force that is there for everyone and in everything. I align myself with this force. And as I align myself with this force, I speak my word for Pat. As I speak my word for Pat or Patricia, I know that this can be dissolved with love, with light, with an understanding that whatever went on all those years ago can be released and let go. The memory, even if it is locked away, will be unlocked and released and let go. And the breathing in now becomes a whole exercise of breathing out and allowing things just to flow in such a way that the light of love, the light, the essence that is there, brings about a sense of release. In the releasing, it is very important with the breathing in, but the breathing out, the releasing and letting go of events that have occurred and can be absolutely wiped clear. And this will release the energies that have been slowly growing. And we're going to just absolutely, you might see my hands evaporate as I feel like I'm just evaporating as I breathe out, allowing these to dissipate and move away and feel a sense of where you're at, where you're going, and what you're doing. I give thanks. In this knowingness, I give total thanks of gratitude that this condition, which has been so old, that's the problem, it's old, is absolutely ready to let go of. It is a clearing in so many ways. And as I move into that thankfulness and that hopefulness and that beingness, I say thank you, thank you, thank you for Patricia, in the knowing that as she moves forward in her life, that all things are going to be brought forward in a way that brings ease and grace and love. And I just say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. Amen's truly, truly that it is done. Anyway, if you could just put a little comment in there, Patricia, for me, and just let me know how that felt, because as I say, I work with clients in this, but this is, a bit different. And if you could just say, got it, or yes, or whatever, I would appreciate that. I think I've got this slow mode thing on a little differently. I'll change that for next week for sure. Yes. So I hope that will find that works really well. And we go from there. So I'm just going to write. I feel joy, relief, and my love. Thank you. Yep. It's my pleasure. And remember, I will be back here next Monday at 7, even though this is me seeing if there's a need for this work. I will certainly be back here for it's sort of a little trial period, but I'll be back here at 7. And I've given myself at least half an hour so to try. So I thank you, Patricia, very, very much. My heart, my love will go with you. I've got it here. I will remember to keep on working with you also for this coming week. Okay. Now I'm just going on to the next, Nicole. Let me see. I want to just go here. If we can move I'm just going to see if I can change this a little bit. Okay, now we're going to go. I want to go to Nicole. Nicole, I think it's Nicole. Is it Nicole? No, it might be Nicole. Nickel, I think. If you have something you want to work on, can you write that in for me so that I can see it and I know what it is you want to work with? Preferably if you can give me your age and the condition or the situation. I say keep up the good work. I appreciate that. And I will, but it's nice to have a title or something to work with. And if not, I'll just keep talking because that's what I tend to do. Now I just want to change that there. And I'll see if I can write this in different. Yeah, I'm just typing, can you tell me what you would like a mental mind treatment for? It can be anything. That's the value of this. I think I've got, next week I will put it down to just 1 second instead of having this little lull. I wasn't sure exactly what that was about. Boy, learning curves are fun. I mean, it's like when you know something, how to do something, and you feel a great sense of direction of where you're going or anything else. Because basically, you must remember, and if you have listened to my Wednesday morning show in particular, where I do long kind of longer talks, but I know this last Sunday I was talking about this too, is that the mind begins everything. The mind creates the essence of where and what you are going to do or how it is. It's the framework of your life. Now, the subconscious has thoughts coming out all the time. Thoughts are coming up from your subconscious and running across your conscious mind. And that, in a sense, is really, really, really important. How do I explain this? The key is to learn, first of all, how to change the thinking process, how to think in a particular way that supports your health and your well-being and the sense of the direction of who you are. All of that is important. It's what shall we say? It is a sense of direction of where you're heading and where you're going and what you're doing. It's if you are thinking thoughts that does not support your path or what you want to create or what you want to do in relation to that. What happens is you often wonder why things are happening the way they're happening. Now, there's also something I did a lot of study on for myself, because we're taught when we're learning these kind of things that you create your reality. And I began to look at that and I thought, well, things happen to me that I don't particularly want to have happen. So I had to think about that, because I know about thought. I've worked with it, for a lot of years now, changing thinking, knowing how to do that, working with different people. And it comes a point that you've got to realize that you live in a world where other people are also having their realities, and our realities are bumping into each other. And one of the things I began to realize that most of what we create is a reaction to something else that has occurred. And that shows up in the tarot, which of course that was my original tool and one I still use to this day, points that out within this, particularly the sword symbology. But it's like how we react to the situations in our lives. How do we react to all the different things that are happening and going on? They become really, really important. But you've got to understand the basic thinking process first. Now, I've started on my Wednesday Norma talks, and you can always watch those because they go up every Wednesday morning and they're there. But I'm looking at the basics this month. Probably it'll go on into February the way the weeks work out. And we looked at thinking and how thinking works. And when we're doing mental mind treatments, here we go. Okay, what the question is from I think it's Nicole, you would say it. I was displaced from my home in August, staying in a hotel. Then December 29th, I was in an accident. This often begins to happen with things. The other person is 100% at fault. I am totally mentally, physically, and emotionally drained. Nicole, I can certainly understand that, because it seems sometimes when something begins to go off, it just keeps compounding. And very often, and I'll go in a moment and figure out exactly what's happening there. Very often, it's just that we go down. We get upset. We could be angry, or we could be sad. They're very similar in my model. They're two reactions based on the same thing. When we get overwhelmed by what's happening and we haven't got a clue how to change anything. So I'm glad, Nicole, you're here. And so let me just tune in. I do like the age of the person. It makes it a little easier sometimes, but that's okay. I've got your name here, and I can figure this out. You've got a lot of interference. You may be in, I'm just wondering, and if you can write this up, whether you feel you, yeah, I can understand that. Homeless, no car, not working right now. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that kind of feels like that. I think you're an empath. I don't know if you realize that you're an empath, that you pick up a lot of people's energies. I've got my hands going. So sometimes you don't know what's your energy and what's other people's. And that makes a huge difference. So one of the things that will come up here is a kind of getting your energy clear. I'm really big on that, and of being your own energy levels, and also keeping your aura. I presume you know something about the aura. Is that it's too big, and so you pick up everybody, then you don't know who you are, where you are, or what you're doing. So there's a couple of things I'm going to probably concentrate on here, but I'm asking because I work with my guides also to help clarify things. So let me just go into the sense here. Again, we just always align with the universal love force, knowing there's one power and one essence. And because I am aligned with it, I'm also aligned with you, because there only is oneness in this sense of being. And in that oneness, I speak my word for Nicole. As I speak my word for Nicole, the sadness and the despair almost overwhelms me, but I realize that in the light of love, as I bring the love in, I can dispel that to bring the natural caring and loving that has gone on within your soul and with the essence of you that has been crowded out by everybody else, either telling you what to do, how to do it, when to do it. Always advice that my ears hurt. So first, as I move into that vibration and the love and the sense that is there, as I release. This is about letting go of other people's expectations, letting go other people's almost like telling you what you should do or not do. And it's because your own natural support system is not getting through at all. What we call your high self, just that knowledge, that awareness. And I feel like I'm pushing back and allowing, and I'm calling on all your helpers to just begin to dissolve. And as I breathe into the energy more, I know these can be dissolved. This is not your energy. This is not the circumstances that you need to be in. It's about allowing life to perform miracles around you and just allowing them to come in, because you need space, energetic space, and allowing the aura to just let go of all of it. It's noisy. I tell you, my ears keep there's so much noise. Just we're going to breathe it out. When us both together, taking a big breath and just breathing out and letting go. And the knowing that in this oneness of being, that we are all one, that there are people not telling you what to do, but love and support you. So to allow that in, to allow the love and the support in, and know the difference between someone dictating and someone supporting. There is support, but it's like they can't get in. And because you're so full of all the shoulds and got tos and ought tos, and I'm just dissolving that. I'm allowing the love into your subconscious to dissolve all the knots and the just letting it. It's just like I'm overburdened by it, and we're just going to breathe it out and let light in. You know, light. People talk about light and love. They're synonymous, but sometimes we just need light to clarify other people's energy that is not of the light. And so if people are not of the light, if they do not know how to love, only give orders or directions or whatever, we just want to release that energy. We don't need to take that in. Because in the oneness, there is only one power and one essence, and it's there for you as it is for everyone. But it is there for you and for you to know that I am me. And in that unfolding, that's what it is I'm seeing. The unfolding and the unfoldment of yourself in the beingness of who you truly are. There's freedom to see. And in that freedom of seeing, then the mind relaxes. And as soon as the mind begins to relax, your body relaxes, and pains that you have throughout your body seem to shift and move away. And there's more freedom of movement. But what I get is clarity. And now the clarity can come in and you can see your path. And as you can see your path, we know that you just can take one step at a time and move forward, knowing that you are supported by the divine. You are supported by the universal love force. You are loved beyond measure, but now it's time to let it in. And so I am, for you, incredibly grateful in knowing the universal love force is right there, wanting and willing to support you in the moving forward. And as the noise leaves, as other people's energy leaves, you're going to find that you're going to feel so much better. I give thanks on behalf of Nicole. I give thanks in knowing that I have clarity, I have ease, I am able to see, to able to know, be able to move in the direction of where you're heading and where you're going. And so I give thanks for that as I turn my phone off, and it wakes me up for sure. I give thanks for that. I give thanks for that, Nicole. And as I come back to me in this moment, in this time, I'm just going to give you a couple of little suggestions, okay? In my Norma talks over the last couple of years, which I have done them, there's a couple that have talked about the importance of keeping your aura tight. And because you're empathic is that you're picking up other people, and therefore you're attracting other people that are kind of putting you down. And so consequently, what happens is really important for you to understand what your energy levels are, so that you feel strength and you feel the clarity that I talk about, and anybody who's telling you that you should do, dictators in life kind of put their hands up like this, fingers, pens, whatever. It's one of the things that we can determine what is a dictator. If anyone starts talking to you and the finger goes up to say, you should be doing this, you just let them, they can talk, and you just let the energy go by. You know within yourself what is best for you. You know the direction that you want to go in. And I'm just going to suggest that you get very clear on you, your thoughts, your lovingness, and totally know inside that you are loved by the, whatever you want to call that energy, the divine, universal love energy. I don't care what name you call it. You can call it on anything. But you need to know that you are loved, and there is energetic help to support you in the direction that you want to go in. And I'd like you to type in, yes, that makes sense, or no, that doesn't, because then I know if I need to say more about the topic. Just let me know, okay? Now, I'm going to, because changing your mental mind, that's what mental mind treatments are about, is changing your perception. I'm lucky. I am a working psychic, and And so I tune in first and then I begin. So it's and Nicole has written, wow, thank you so much. Yes, makes sense. Yes, that's what I love to do, is make sense. And she says, much love. And I appreciate that in my heart, because this is one reason I wanted to do this. I know people are out there and needing, and if you've recorded, if you have a phone, record it. If you can replay it. And when I work on this personally, often with people, I give them prescriptions. And say, listen to this twice a day for 3 weeks or something like this, and then we would be ready for another one. But feel free to come back next Monday. I had committed myself, I would do half an hour of these to see if people were wanting this. I've been, you might say, in my own mind, wanting to do something like this, because it's a little different than my normal work. And I can talk. I do a lot of talking, and I love that, sharing the information. And I want to really say, one of the reasons I studied for 8 years learning how to do this, which we called at the time spiritual mind treatment. But I find that today a lot of people do not relate to the word spiritual anymore. So I decided I'd call it a mental mind treatment, because it affects the mentality. And the key often is just to learn how to switch that around so that we get our minds, which create the framework of our lives, we get to understand and know and be aware of what that is all about. And sometimes we just need that extra little bit of help of someone pointing out and getting the energy in. And when the energy comes in, everything gets a lot clearer. I've had to create miracles in my life because, like everybody else, I've had circumstances happen, and I've had to go, okay, where do I want to go from here? Or where do I want to be, wherever it is? So it's just coming up to 7:30, which is, I was only going to give this half an hour just to see. And I've had the two of you tonight, and oh man, you won't believe how I've appreciated both of you to come in and allow me to perhaps just touch in that this can be helpful to you. And so I will be back next Monday at 7 p.m. It was funny tonight. I messed up getting in and supposed to have been ready, and I had to do it again, redo it. I have to go back in actually to my site, and because one that went up, which I don't know how it happened, because I didn't put it up right away. Anyway, that's my part, learning how to do this. And I think I can work this quite well. So I'm just going to say, have a great week. Enjoy. I will be back. And of course, I will be back Wednesday and again Sunday doing my talking bit. And then next Monday at 7 p.m., I'll be back here to do more treatments. And Patricia and Nicole, please come back. I don't mind, because some of these doing weekly for you, that is a gift from me, really, because it puts me in touch with, everything. And I thank you. And until next week, anybody who listens to this through the week, enjoy. And know next Monday I'll be here. And if we go for the hour, that's fine too. So I just want to say good night, blessings, relax. Bless.